Stairway to Heaven drum fill in the studio version. You know, I thought I had a video on this. I don't. I realized I didn't. But I do have a full Stairway to Heaven drum lesson on my Bonzoleum channel. If you want to click below where it says Bonzoleum. I also have 2 Stairway to Heaven drum covers. The studio version that the fill is from here now, and also the live version from The Song Remains the Same, if you want to check those out. The fill from Stairway to Heaven. I'm going to take the crash out. I'll do it slower. Now, what happens here is this. This type of fill, the way the accents are, is very common. It's just it's played different by Bonham. He does the sticking a little differently. Again, Bonham always did kind of oftentimes regular type things, but he played them his own way. Okay? Now this pattern and sort of type of fill, you can hear a good example of the nature of it. A popular form of the way it goes is in Phil Collins' In the Air Tonight. You know how we have the dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, bum-bum. That's the same thing. Listen. Bum-bum, 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 bum-bum. Dun-dun, bum-bum, 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 bum-bum. And in Stairway to Heaven, the studio version, when we come out of the solo into the verse. Here we go, watch. It's all the same thing, okay? What Bonham does, though, is he adds a note to the fill when he sweeps around. And that actually, ironically, really helps give that portion of the fill a triplet feel. And then the very last portion, sort of a straight feel, when in fact it's the other way around. The first part of the fill is in straight time, okay? Meaning it's 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. It's not a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's in a 1 and a. The feel of it is in 1, 2, 3, as in there's 3 notes in the thing. The 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Except that's, even though that's a triplet in its own right, it's not a triplet in the official sense of music. Now, bear with me here, okay? The last part that starts on 4, sort of the cool, that is a triplet proper. It is a 16th note triplet, okay? So an 8th note triplet would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a 16-note triplet, which you could say 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and okay? Bonham plays that ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba of the 4, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba into the crash. On the kit, he goes. That's the last one's the downbeat. He could go, so it could be like, it's the same notes, except that he's not playing it. He's going, okay? So let's start at the beginning. What I'm going to do here, the nature of this type of fill, and in the Stairway to Heaven fills, and namely this fill, is because there's 3 notes in a row that happen. There are 12 of them, because what happens is the part occurs in just up to the 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. So that means there are, if you're doing 16s, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a, well, 1, 2, or 4 starts, that's 12 notes. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and that's 12 notes. 12 notes, 4 times 3 is 12. 3 times 4 is 12. There's 4 groupings of 3 there. That's why it goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, something, something, crash. Okay? Something, something is resolving out of the time discrepancy that occurs to get back into the downbeat where the fill rounds itself out. Which typically what people do will just go 4 and. So you could go. Like you notice in the Phil Collins thing. That's 4 and. Okay? It's just that Bonham doesn't go 4 and. He treats it as a 16th note triplet. 4 and or 4 triplet and triplet. Okay? So check this out. So I'm going to count this all in 16th notes because when we play these notes, the but those are 16th notes. Okay, they're subdivided into smaller chunks as they would be just 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, it's 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Okay, but so watch this. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. What I just did with my right hand is what your hand is doing when you play this cool as hell fill. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. And you can loop that. Count over to yourself. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. And then just loop it. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. It's like that's just another variation of or it's all the same thing. It's a hard accent with 2 notes behind it, and then another hard accent with 2 notes, another hard accent with 2 notes, but all coming out in 16 full notes because we have 4/4. Don't worry about the notes or 16, but here, so check this out again. Just play this over and over again. 1E and a 2E and a 3. I'll slow it down. 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. I added the bass drum. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Okay? Just do that. What happens is when you learn this type of fill or any drum thing by itself slowly with counting. See, a lot of people are like, what? You know, I get comments in the video. It's like, what are you counting for? You know, when you play the drums, you shouldn't count. Well, I don't know how many drummers sit there when they play. They're like 1E and a 2E and a 1 and 2 and 3. They're playing. But when you're first learning something, you have to know on what kind of loose grid the notes fall. Hence counting, okay? So here we go. Remember, 16th note fill. We're going to play it. This is the bar before, leading into the fill. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Remember, when 4 comes, we're done with this pattern. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. And again, you can loop that again. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Now that sounds like a triplet because it's just going like 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and. But in the context of the music, that's occurring in even 4/4 time, broken down to 16 notes. Hence the 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. I played it all the way through just to show you that it can go all the way through. But again, the reason why people typically sonically stop before the 4 is so they can put a little tag or a different thing on the end so it rounds out. Otherwise, it would go 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, which you could play. But that's not what Bonham does, okay? So watch. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1 and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, okay? But here's the rub. What Bonham does, which is really cool, is he adds a note between, perfectly between, okay? So if these are 16ths, 1E and a 2E, a note that he puts between will be a 32nd note. It doesn't matter. You don't have to know about 32nd notes. It's just that the 1E are perfectly subdivided in the middle by another note, which is played by the left hand on the ragtime. So 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and it becomes 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Now, what's funny is it doesn't really sound. It sounds kind of like a totally different thing. But watch, my right hand is still playing the same thing as it was before. Now I'll take the left hand out after the first strike. See, it's the same thing. We're just adding that note there. Okay? So that's what goes on in Stairway to Heaven there. So then practice this. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and I'll slow it down and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. I'm going to start this again so I don't run out of tape. So I'm going to slow that down. I'm going to keep slowing it down. So watch. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Okay? Now, that note that I put there between those, between this, that's a 32nd note, which I might have mentioned before. You're totally subdividing that literally right in half. Becomes, it's the same thing, you're just adding that note. So you can sit and practice that. Okay, you're just adding a note between the floor time and the snare, or the snare and floor time respectively. So what I'll do is let me not hit this. So watch. Okay, that's what happens there. So by the nature of it, the 4 3-note groupings, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, you count, there were 4 snare hits there, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, remember that snare hit there is the beginning of the pattern. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, but fill it in not just here, but also with the bass drum. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, bring in the left hand. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Now when you hear it slow, it doesn't really sound like it's the same thing. It's like da 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 da. That's a good thing to memorize. You'll hear it kind of as, because it's a sweep, like a triplet, like 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. But when you really slow it down, it goes. And I recommend just looping that. Okay? And that's helpful. But when you start to speed it up, 1E and a 2E here slower, 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, starting to sound more Bonham Zeppelin-y, isn't it? 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. But again, when you slow it down, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Okay, so just loop that. Start going faster, like I said. It'll smooth more into a rounded, very much like what it sounds like on the record, okay? So now let's deal with what happens at the 4. This takes us to the 4, because 4 count in it. Okay? The bop-bop is how it's normally played. Remember I said 4 and, but Bonham does a triplet in it. Again, a 16th note triplet. 4 and becomes 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 4 and, or 4 triplet and triplet, okay? Da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da. So it goes da-da-da-da-da-da. You could go, like I said before. That's the noting, that's the triplet noting he plays, except he doesn't go. He goes 6 notes there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See that? It's the same thing. So he like just attaches the to the, okay? Now that last bass drum occurs on the of 3. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and okay? So right after that in 16th noteville, the 4 is hit on the ragtime with your left hand. 4 and downbeat, okay? 4 and might sound funky, but it's really how you would, at least in some schools, the way I was taught, count it. Remember triplets: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and or people say 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. But because what happens is it's a 16th note triplet, you have 6 notes in the quarter note. 1 and 2 and. Okay, you can count it for practice's sake. You don't have to go 4 and. Just go 1 and 2 and. Just loop that over. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. Okay, 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. Bumblebee tuna. All right, but now here's a good thing you can do to practice, especially now we have to add that downbeat bass drum note at the end. Think of this. Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the, which is left, right foot, yellow brick, left, right foot, and then road, okay? Follow the yellow brick road. Pardon me. Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. whatever hand you want to use to hit the crash, if it's over here or whatever. So that is the whole thing. Follow the yellow brick road. So then the first part, 4 of those, okay? It's just the way it works out time-wise. The grouping of 16, but only 12 16 notes because we're leaving the 4 that are in the 4 quarter note out. 1, ba, boom, ba, ba, four. 4. Because 4 then starts the 4. So it goes 4. Well, let the bass drum out. 4. 4. God, I'm going to pull this right off my head. And that 4 is the first note of that 16th note triplet. Okay? Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. Okay? That's it. Okay, and again, once you start mastering the components, you're going to start doing it, and then after a while, once you start playing it faster, you're going to be like, oh, and it's all going to kind of slip into the fill and work for you, okay? So again, if you get a chance, check out my Stairway to Heaven drum lesson I have on my channel, my Bonzoleum channel, and also both the Stairway to Heaven drum covers. Stairway to Heaven studio version drum cover and Stairway to Heaven live from the song remains the same drum cover. That rat bastard Jimmy Page, the one that I could use for the drum cover, he not only remastered it, but he changed the solo around a little bit. From different, the song remains the same was cobbled together from 3 different nights, Madison Square Garden, 1973. I also have other Zeppelin covers. I have In My Time of Dying, I do that drum cover. I do Fool in the Rain. I do Custard Pie. And I do all kinds of things. And I also have other drum covers, like Won't Get Fooled Again by The Who, and Sultans of Swing by Dire Straits, and I even do a Dave Matthews cover. Anyway, but please check out my channel, Bonzoleum. Subscribe if you can. And more videos and more drum covers on the way. Thanks for watching.
This video brought to you by Terry Keating Greatest Hits. Look for it on eBay.